け翼。
全日本はこの俺が守ってやるよ。
ブラジルサッカーをなめるな。
Hi guys, welcome back to Tsubasa. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day as usual. T.K here, back with more character analysis. Well, this time we are going to look at Roberto and Matsuyama. I'm not sure if you noticed, but every time a new Roberto is released, he impacts the meta, pushing either or both Japanese and Latin American teams. So this time round, which team is Roberto pushing? Let's find out. Ike! Roberto Hongo, Unparalleled Technique, is a skill-type Brazilian player wearing the Brazil national team jersey. He will be able to fit into your team as either a forward or attacking midfielder. This Roberto seems like a younger version without facial hair and looking more energetic than usual. Roberto is equipped with 4 massive hidden abilities, and for that reason alone, he might be replacing the older agility version on some of the team types. Bond 3% to all stats for the entire team as long as you play 6 or more non-Japanese players. Full power gauge up, Roberto generates 15% full power when he scores a goal. This is similar to Dream Collection Natureza, and we do feel that this is less helpful than the regular full power gauge up, which only requires you to win a matchup. Stats handicap resistance, providing a massive 5% debuff reduction to the entire team. And finally, stats down, minus 3% stats to all opponents. Roberto comes with a disappointing team skill though, Extreme Awakening of Non-Japanese, plus 15% stats for all non-Japanese players, which is not relevant now. His passive, Nationality Link, Non-Japan, grants him a staggering 30% stats bonus that comes with an easy to meet criteria, only needing 5 non-Japanese players, excluding himself. This passive is far more superior in terms of flexibility compared to the past Link's passive, which requires 8 or more players from specific types. Roberto comes packaged with 2 S and a single A rank skills. His main skill, S Skydive Overhead Kick, capped at 490 momentum and costs 415 stamina, doesn't have any special effects. His sub-skill S South American Dribble is something new as well, capped at 420 momentum and requires 245 stamina per use. Both mentioned S skills are very useful for any versions of Roberto as they complete his S rank offensive options. Lastly, we have A True Skywing Shot, capped at 350 momentum. It's not really relevant in higher tier PvP and should be removed for other skills. Roberto's stats allocation is kind of mediocre at first glance with his shot and power over 7k. His other offensive stats are over 6.5k and defensive stats are decent. But let's not forget that he gets a massive 30% stats bonus from his passive if the requirements are met. Do note that the higher the passive percentage is, the more boost you get from the limit break as well. We recommend playing Roberto as an attacking player, ignoring his defensive aspects, since he doesn't have access to any S-rank defensive skills. The regular attacking build is the way to go: 25 shot, speed, power, 21 pass, and 4 technique. Let's assume that Roberto is playing in an optimized team, and here are the figures with our suggested limit break. His shot hits a massive 16.5k. Both his dribble and pass surpass 13k. Even his defensive aspects look good. True Skywing Shot hits a total force of 81k, and the same goes for the True Roberto Overhead Kick and the Skydive Overhead Kick, as Roberto does not have any area bonus. South American Dribble will be at 56k and Student Teacher Duel over 64k. For those that are building Roberto as your main goal thread, you can consider going with our suggested skill build. Replace A true Skywing shot with the S version and give him student-teacher duo and the true Roberto overhead kick to finish things up. For those who are not playing Tsubasa alongside him, you can opt to go with S drive pass or A swift interception if your team is auto intercept enabled. This Roberto is basically a buff up version of the agility Roberto and stronger in every aspect. Because of that, he does fit very well into Toughness Japanese, Skill Latin teams. And with him, Toughness Japanese and Skill Latin has the 6th player in their roster that can boost full power. His only drawback is his main skill being an overhead kick, a header. It limits his skill choices as a ground shot and dribble is a must for him. So you need to choose between S volley, 1-2 pass or A intercept for the remaining 2 slots. Furthermore, in order for him to be useful, you need to feed him skills from other versions of Roberto. I do feel that Roberto can fit into any non-Japanese teams, meeting his criteria for his passive and hidden abilities easily. Hikaru Matsuyama, Everlasting Link Combo Shot, is an agility Japanese player that plays for the Japanese national team in the Rising Sun arc. He can be played as either defensive or attacking midfielder. Matsuyama's hidden ability design is somewhat similar to Roberto, with an additional hidden ability coming up to a total of 5. Bond, 3% stats bonus for the entire team with 6 or more Japanese players, inclusive of Matsuyama. Pedal to the metal, 10% to all stats when full power is active. Stats down, 3% debuff applied to all opponents. Stats handicap resistance, a massive 5% reduction to debuff for his team. And lastly, auto intercept enhance, 50% chance to activate an interception skill when a pass goes over him. Similar to Roberto, Matsuyama does not come with the new team skill, so we are not going to elaborate on that. His passive National Link Japan only requires 5 Japanese players to achieve the full 15% bonus. Unlike Bond, Link passive does not include the player, so you will need to play 5 other Japanese players on top of Matsuyama. Matsuyama's main skill, Super Low Eagle Twin Shot, capped at 475 momentum and costing 435 stamina, requires Misaki alongside him and has no distant decay. His other default S skill, Eagle Interception, is capped at 440 momentum and requires 360 stamina. It's a long-weighted skill for Matsuyama. Being one of the sub-skill adds the cherry on top, as you can simply remove the skill with the skill remover card if you need it for other versions of Matsuyama. He is rounded up with a A Spirited Valiant Defense, quite an impressive A rank tackle capped at 350 momentum, and is as strong as a A rank EX tackle. His stats are distributed quite nicely to produce a Matsuyama that is offensive and defensively efficient. His shot is at a pleasing 8.2k supported by a 7k power, and both his tackle and intercept are above 7k. He is weaker in passing and dribbling, only reaching around the 6k mark. His stamina is at 1.2k, so he should be able to support multiple S-rank skills. We feel that this is the time for Matsuyama to shine as a gold thread, so we are going to suggest 25 shot, speed, power, 21 intercept, and 4 technique. We have opted to build on his interception instead of pass, as we want Matsuyama to be contributing defensively when full power is not active, and only attack when full power is active. With his hidden ability, Pedal to the Metal, granting him an additional 10% stats bonus during full power, that should be enough to offset the trade-off. Alternatively, you can opt for 25 shot, tackle, speed, and power. Matsuyama should be able to bully weaker passers with one of his 490 momentum tackles, and he might even be able to take down stronger passes during full power. The table shows his in-match parameters with our suggested limit break. Let's focus on the figures when he gets the full 15% bonus from his passive. Offensively, not great but decent, with his shot aging ahead at 15.1k and both dribble and pass over 10k. Both his tackle and intercept are relatively good, exceeding 12k. His super low eagle twin shot is not ideal at almost 72k, but during full power he becomes a goal threat, hitting 78k force. Assuming that you have one of his 419 momentum tackles, Spirited Valiant's defense hits 62k and 66k during full power, as Eagle Intercept is at 57k and 61.8k respectively. Consider replacing his A tackle with the S version or Diligent Defense, depending on your access, as Eagle Tackle might work as an alternative. Finish off his build with S Avalanche Attack and A Smooth Ball Keeping, as Eagle Pass is a fine replacement for Avalanche Attack depending on your play style. This Matsuyama is one of the few Matsuyama that is not held back by a restrictive passive. He is a definite upgrade for Agility Japan over the 97 version. He is also a really good jack-of-all-trades midfielder as he is competent in all aspects other than block. When all his passive and hidden abilities are active, he becomes the best version of Matsuyama in the game. He feels the need of an attacking midfielder capable of scoring for Agility Japan as they are lacking in goal threats. He might even take the central attacking midfielder position from the Agility Dreamfair's Tsubasa as Matsuyama's shot is stronger. He is not merely good for Agility Japan and can also be used in skill or toughness type Japanese teams as the 11th player because of his buffs, shield and debuff. It's interesting how both the Japanese and non-Japanese banners have players that benefit toughness type Japanese team. Now, we do feel that this banner seems lackluster in many ways as they only introduce a single player for each banner, although increasing the rate to 5%. In theory, the chances of getting the featured players remains the same at 0.42%, so it doesn't make any difference for those who are only eyeing for a certain featured player. The Japanese banner is less desirable out of the two, as only 3 new Rising Sun players are included, while the old 97, G23 and the World Cup 18 players are added into the pool as well. Do note that those players, most of them are not useful anymore. In contrast, the non-Japanese banner is better as all the new non-Japanese anniversary players are included in this at a higher rate than the usual, except for Espadas. So if you are non-Japanese players that have none or not many of the new non-Japanese players, you have a higher chance of getting one of the new players. Alright, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Help the channel by hitting the like button, check out our Patreon and YouTube membership, links provided in the video description, and subscribe for more upcoming content. Special thanks to all our members helping out the channel, keeping it alive, and AoiTopGear for being our insight master for this video. Finally, a big thanks to you guys watching this video. T.Ken signing off. Bye bye.